I hope Gangotri and Sanjana are here. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are pretty much audible. Gangotri is also seen here, and I
Yes,
think she's struggling to have her connectivity. Sunil sir, are you also there?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, sir. So while the students are joining, I think we can interact with them. We can make them draw their attention towards us with a small activity. I would like to play this game with them. So we have Gangotri and Sanjana here who are going to help us with the activity.
Good evening, everyone. While the guests and the students join us, let's play a game to entertain ourselves. In this activity, we'll be playing Pictionary. You'll have a few pictures shown, which is a movie. You can drop your answers in the chat box.
The students and the participants can try to guess what this movie is. You can drop down your answers in the chat box. We will be checking out the answers. Any ideas? I think it's a very pretty easy one. I don't
Come on,
see any
guys.
text. Is it that tough? Is the question a tough one?
Yeah, we already got a text. It's robot.
Robo.
Is it robot? What do you guys say?
Somebody said robot. Sir and a few others said robot. Okay, shall we give the answer? Okay, I think we can give, somebody said, money, 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 money.
Somebody's asking, can
Language.
we have language? Language,
The
maybe a
language,
clue.
yeah, the language is Telugu. All the questions are in Telugu. I mean, Telugu movies are on Telugu movies.
Yeah, come on, guys. This is not related to any subject, right?
White House School.
Yeah, still.
Okay, we can go ahead with the answer. Maybe next question because it is 6:11 already.
Yes, sir. The answer is ATM not working.
Oh,
I think that was a very easy one. But yeah, most of the students or participants might not know about this movie. But yes, there is a movie named ATM Not Working. So let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
I guess this is also an easy one. Try to get the context from the pictures and you can answer it. So we have Broche Varu Evarura.
Varevaru. Is it
Doriki.
Broche Varevaru?
Are you sure?
Even if teachers can answer, Jessica ma'am.
Of course, ma'am, of course. Kavya ma'am, how are you?
And then even my answer
Somebody
is that
get happy days. Nice.
Even I think it's Brocheva Ravru, ma'am.
Yes, even me, even I'm going with the same answer.
Yeah, because
have
the
information
scenes that displayed is like the movie. So yeah.
Yes, it is.
Even I feel the same.
All right, ma'am. We will take your answer, but we'll see what the right answer is because there are so many people, so many participants sending in their answers, and most of them are Brochevaru Evarura. But there is one student who gave Happy Days. So let's see. The right answer is yes, Brochevaru Evarura. Kudos to you guys, whoever answered it right. Let's go to the next one right away. What do you think?
I know this answer.
Yeah, this is the easy one. Come on, guys.
Even me, even me.
It's an easy one.
Mahanubhavudu.
Yes.
Mahanubhavudu.
Okay.
Mahanubhavudu.
Yes.
Okay, I haven't watched the movie, so I do not know this. But let's see
All
what the
about
answer is. Let's see.
everything. Yeah.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right. So yes, that is the right answer. I think we gave a very easy one. Let's see this one. Is it tough? Is it a tough one? We're not getting any chats for this. Supreme.
Yes, ma'am. We already got Supreme. Saho.
Gabbar Singh.
Okay.
Only, ma'am.
Supreme, ma'am.
Supreme.
A small hint. This is actually directed by Mr. Sunil Kumar Reddy. This movie.
Will this be Valasa?
Valasa. Let's see, sir. Let's see. Okay, some said Gulf, some said Sikka.
Yeah, Gulf. Okay, maybe. Yeah, Gulf.
Tikam.
So, what happened to Supreme then? What happened to Saho? Okay, let's see. Yes, Sikka is the right answer. And this has been directed by Mr. Sunil Kumar Reddy. Good job, guys. Let's go to the. So this is a blurred picture. Try to get the picture.
Gangaputrulu.
Easy.
Gangaputulu.
Gangaputru.
Okay.
Gangaputrulu.
Why not Prem Kada Chitram?
Ma'am, it's clearly seen over there.
Seems like
Gangaputrulu.
Gangaputulu.
Ganga.
Might be blurred. We can
Somebody
see
said
it.
A Nalguru.
Gangaputru.
Yes, ma'am. Answer is Analagu.
A Nalguru, okay.
No, it's Gangaputrulu.
Gangaputrulu, no.
Shall I show the answer?
It's directed by Sunil Kumar Reddy.
Fantastic.
Yes, you guys are right. This has also been directed by Mr. Sunil Kumar Reddy.
I think
Let's put it,
Sunil sir, maybe some of your job is being covered by this.
so let's go to the next one.
Madam.
I was thinking it was Brochevaru Evarura, but then we don't have that option here.
No, ma'am. Care of Kancherpalam.
Or if
Kancherpalam, ma'am.
Nagaraniki ఏమైంది? Okay, most of you guys have given your answer. Let's see.
Most of them are answering care of Kancharpal. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Right answer.
Sorry, I was delayed. Can you guys please? This is Justin Jagannath from Lendi.
Yes, Jagubai, how are
I
you?
was a bit
Welcome.
delayed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you should.
doing good, sir. Sorry for the.
You're not late. You're just on time. No problem.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's start
Try
the
to guess
question.
this one, guys.
Yes. Jessica ma'am, shall
Premakada Chitram.
we end up this activity?
U-turn.
Yes, sir. With this, we will end it up.
Yeah.
U-turn.
Come on, guys. Answer you.
U-turn,
Give your
ma'am.
answer soon. Okay.
U-turn, ma'am.
U-turn.
Really? Yes.
I was
ma'am.
saying you.
It is U-turn. Good job, guys. Whoever has answered it right and whoever has participated. Really, thank you for participating, and we hope we grabbed your attention for now. So we have Gangotri and Sanjana to take care of the session. So please go ahead, Gangotri and Sanjana.
A pleasant evening to all the higher authorities, my respected teachers, and my dear friends. Last Dia said, cinema is the greatest mirror of humanity's struggle. You see this alternative world, but you are a part of it. Everybody is a part of it. This is our world. My name is Sanjana, and I am from ECE. It is my pleasure to welcome you here this evening. I would like to thank you for joining us today for this special presentation on cinema on digital space. We hope that you acquire new knowledge that our speaker has lined up for you to be fruitful and engaging.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gangotri from ECE, and on behalf of our club Torchbearers, sponsored by AICTE Spices, I would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. Let's make this session not just wonderful, but a session full of learning and new experiences.
AICTE sponsored scheme for promoting interest, creativity, and ethics among students, SPICES, to support Future India Club FIC, comprises a handful of like-minded students to collaborate, to compete, and to communicate under the supervision of English Language Communication Skills ELCS at Lendi. As part of this initiative, about 600 student friends are practicing various skills to emerge themselves to serve future India, and they bring out several workshops, talks, competitions, and challenges, etc. Such an activity is this workshop.
The Torchbearers, one of the 10 FIC clubs at Lendi, is the host of this workshop and welcomes you graciously to the address by a popular Telugu film director, Sri Sunil Kumar Reddy. The following are expected outcomes of the talk come workshop. To demonstrate the critical study of cinema as film scholars and analysis, to understand the pre-production, production, and post-production filmmaking process, to demonstrate the relationship between film form, aesthetic effect through both film analysis and creation of motion pictures, to conduct film research and compose cogent, persuasive, and valid ideas about film.
Now, we are honored to have a famous Telugu film director as our guest to address the audience present in the meeting. To give a better introduction, I would now request our beloved Vice Principal, Administration, Head of Department of English, and founder of ELCS Lab Lendi, Sir Dr. Haribabu Tamineni, to grace us with his presence.
Oh, thank you so much, Miss Gangotri, and then we also have another girl, Sanjana.
Sanjana, sir.
Sanjana, sir.
Yeah. A well beginning is always half done. This is fantastic to have all of you who have put in wonderful efforts in bringing out this kind of good talk, and that to one of our age-old good friends, Sunil Kumar Reddy, sir, who has to inaugurate the whole session of Spices on this platform. So before that, I would like to take this opportunity to wish everyone who present here, who have taken a lot of risk in registering and also taking your time in this whole evening to sit before your computers and also to be with us so effectively. To name, we have Srinivas Babu sir from Srikakulam. We also have Dr. P.D. Sailaja, our head of the department from SNH of Lendi Institute. Our dearest alumni, brother Justin Jagannath. To name, there are many. Last but not the least, my team of teachers of English, and along with Mr. Srinivas, our tech support. very good evening to everyone. In fact, this is a most sought after moment. We have been working on this socially useful, productive work in the place of this, what you call, um, language learning, not alone language learning, and it is about learning language learning communication. So as part of this, we have applied for AICTE to understand this, what you call, process of converting students' minds through an effective methodology. If there is any such kind of a project, our language lab Lendi like to undertake, we have proposed to AICTE. So thanks to AICTE, which has sponsored a program for 1 year in the name of Spices to add real spices to the life of young children. So which is what that is what happening now today. So as part of this, we thought that there would be talks, interesting competitions, challenges, and then collaborative tasking. So put together all of this definitely will help students not only excelling in their education, even excelling in their life along with education. So with this, I'll be very happy to see my kids who are working under the supervision of 10 interesting mentors. The first mentor, Madam Jessica, who has taken a lot of what you call challenge in molding the minds of the young kids who have come out not just like the first time speakers, they are really doing wonderful job. With this, I'll be silent, and I also request Sailaja ma'am to talk couple of minutes, and then after that, I request Jessica ma'am to take over the proceedings. Sailaja ma'am.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Yes, good evening, Dr. Sunil Kumar Reddy Garu and Srinivas Garu, the honorable guests for today's session, and beloved Hari Babu sir, vice principal and mentor of English team and whatnot. So I congratulate the team English and Hari Babu sir for the sanction of the Spices program from AICTE. Hope this session will be full of enjoyment because it's on cinema on digital screen. Hope all the students will also enjoy this. So with this, I wish all the students a happy learning. And I also thank Sunil Kumar Reddy Garu and Srinivas Garu for accepting the invitation and gracing the this event. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, sir, once again. So, yeah, Gangotri and Sanjana will take over the rest of the show. Students, you're on mute.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Hari sir and Sailaja ma'am, for your valuable inputs and suggestions. We are grateful for his able guidance, which has always encouraged us. I thank him for his kindness and unending support. It's now my pleasure to introduce our guest of honor, Sri P. Sunil Kumar Reddy, a dynamic, zestful, down-to-earth and respected human. Sri P. Sunil Kumar Reddy is a native of Alagani Padu of Potti Sriramulu, Nelluru district in Hyderabad. He is an Indian director, screenwriter, and film producer who works primarily in Telugu cinema. He is well known for directing critically acclaimed films such as Santuru, Gangaputrulo, Gulf, and many more. He started a magazine named Kokila and acted as editor and publisher of it. He also directed films in Tamil and Malayalam. Later on, he launched an evening daily newspaper, City Roundup in Vishakhapatnam. His films won 18 state awards and participated in several international film festivals. He has won Nandi Award for Best Documentary Film Chance in 2006 and Nandi Award for Best Director and Best Dialogue Writer for his film Ganga Putruli in 2010. Fun fact, Mr. Sunil Kumar Reddy has directed a few scenes in a couple of films in our campus with some of our lecturers as cast. You can watch Oka Romantic Crime Color 2014 on YouTube.
Being a close friend of our Vice Principal Dr. Haribabu Tamineni, Mr. Sunil Kumar Reddy invariably had the passion to make films that inspired youth, brought out life lessons, and showed it to the society. He served as a jury member for the International Children's Film Festival, India. He rendered his services as a guest faculty for Annapurna Film School and Ramanaidu Film School, and conducted several film workshops across India. He is also well known for his films which deal with various social issues. He is a mechanical engineer by qualification, journalist by profession, and a filmmaker by passion. Now we request our honorable guest, Sri P. Sunil Kumar Reddy sir, to come forward as the participants can't wait to be enthralled to update themselves more about cinema and the prominence of it in digital space. Sir, the stage is yours.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
evening, everybody, and it's a wonderful opportunity to interact with students of India and other students from various engineering colleges. I'm always happy whenever Haribabu sir plans something like, to interact with students and all. I think at the end of the session, I'll be learning a lot interacting with them. So I always consider teaching is the best way to learn things. So I started my career in the beginning stages of my life, teacher also. I would love to interact with students because by being in touch with the young generation, you will always refreshing your ideas, and the interaction will always makes you young in terms of thinking. And to be creative in the field, you should not stagnate. So stagnation is death. That's what they say. That if you are confined to your ideas and start thinking that whatever I acquired is good enough, then I'll be obsolete very soon. So I'm always to be refreshing myself to India with students there and other engineering colleges wherever I go. That's how I learned, or rather, so many ideas I got from students, and that which I implemented in films like Romantic Crime Kada, Criminal Prem Kada, and Romantic Criminals, and so many films. So it's a wonderful topic today I've seen because this particular event is made possible by the digital revolution. The same way cinema is also taking advantages of the digital revolution. Cinema is reaching us to the global audience. First time we are seeing films from international cinema. So through Netflix, Amazon, and all these films like which we would never get otherwise 10-20 years back. It was something a dream for any filmmaker to see all those international acclaimed films. Now you got them in your palm, like you can see it in your mobile. So that revolution was possible by the digital revolution. And now
By
the
chance,
message of digital
Sunil sir, to disturb you. By chance, you switched off your camera or what? We have missed your video, face of you.
That's so.
We are able to hear you only.
Okay.
Can you restart your camera, sir? Otherwise.
Yeah. I think now I'm seeing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Maybe కొంచెం అవేగా వెళ్తే మీరు డైరెక్టర్ ఎప్పుడు తెర వెనుక మాత్రమే ఉంటారా?
Yeah. So, I mean, only one film I acted. Luckily, my friend's film, Mr. Krish, asked me to come and join in his shoot in Kadanayakadu, where I acted. So I came for the camera also once. So, sir, is it going to be an interactive session or any question that I'll be answering, or you want me to just give the idea about film?
That is up to you, sir. It is fully your own choice, and we wanted to learn from you, sir. And maybe after your talk, you wanted us to talk, give you put your questions. That is fine. Or you wanted us now in the middle to talk at your own whims and fancies. We can go ahead, sir.
See, the main idea is that whatever we are trying to give, if it is reaching the right way to the audience, also we have to check and double check, because that is the problem with the digital technology. Also,
yes,
in the interaction in the offline thing, you'll be seeing your audience and their body language gives a lot of information to you. Bro, you got to stop. You are crossing our tolerance. So that we can understand through the body languages. But in the digital space, you will never know. You'll be thinking and you will be under an impression that what you're telling is reaching right. But sometimes it may not be. So that's why I wanted class to be more of, because I do consider cinema is democratized, and I cannot say that it's only with the few. If few can dictate the progression of cinema. Now youngsters, they have taken over cinema, and now everybody is capable of making a cinema because the camera, or rather 3 cameras in phone, they are equipped with, so they can make films. But as democracy has an issue, the same way happened to the cinema also. Democracy, the beauty is anybody can be a leader, and that's the problem. Anybody can be a leader. So the same thing happened to cinema also. So the discretion of good cinema and bad cinema is becoming more difficult because the available technology in the hands of people. Now, how that kind of discretion you need to take while making cinema is a very, very important thing. So if a weapon is given to a bad person, it is going to create more destruction. If the weapon is given to a bad person who got a brilliant education, then he is going to create a massive destruction. That's the problem. So this universe suffered because of the educated people, not by the uneducated people. If you see the history, all the distractions, the massive distractions were emerged out of the brains of the so-called brilliant people. Their ideas have destroyed the universe, and now we are in such a shape because of the too much of intelligence. The same thing sometimes happens to the cinema also. If the technology is not used in a proper sense, we're not having social responsibility. Ultimately, you are going to create a havoc. That's what sometimes happens. So you got to first of all ethically educate people first. You need to get a good cinema means you need to have good institutions. You need to have good students. Then only a good cinema can be possible. If you create a society where the rat race is in the forefront, then you are definitely going to get a lousy cinema which is too commercial, and it is going to corrupt the society furthermore. That's what actually we discussed in our film Welcome to Tihar College, that was predominantly shot in our Lendi College itself. I would consider Lendi College is my studio, where I shot 4 films, 3 brilliantly received films already, and 1 film is in the censor process. We'll be releasing next month. Welcome to Tihar College is the concept of the film, where we wanted education shouldn't be like, as if students are jailed and kept in a place and they're forced to do something that which they are really not interested. We wanted an environment where learning has to be a more interesting thing. They should really enjoy learning every day. That is what actually our idea and concept. Now, Haribabu sir came up with this kind of an idea, which this is giving entertainment and participating in an issue that which they are interested in. Because see, we are all storytellers. We are all storytellers. Every human being, starting with the early humans till today, we are all storytellers. We want to tell our stories to the grandchildren, to our son and daughter, brother and sister. The same thing is there with us. Every time we are using different technology. Sometimes we are using language skills to convey a story. Sometimes making pictures. You might have seen in the monolithic area also the paintings being done. A story is tried to animate on the walls or the rocks that we have seen in the archaeological surveys and other things. Now cinema is happening. Whichever way, drama, theater, or anything, what you wanted to tell a story, you have a story in your mind, and now you try to convey through a medium. Cinema, now of course digital space. Now the video has come handy to you, like the social media is there to market it, to send it. There's so many self-created celebrities nowadays we can see. They have made their mark through the YouTube programs they have conducted, the short films they made. And you have seen so many big celebrities happening in the industry just because of their own effort. Nobody gave any chance to them. They rather took a chance to make their presence. So it's a high time that everybody should understand and learn the process of filmmaking. And this, I think, definitely would be a wonderful platform for the beginners. Other possible aspects of social media, everybody is educated about filmmaking. Everybody has an idea what a script will be like, and what editing is, and what cinematography is. 20 years back, when I really wanted to come to this industry, there was no literature available for me. I literally had to go to Pune to read some books to get the basic literature about cinema. Now it is not the case. Now the internet is very much there. Everybody is having 2GB, 3GB data in their phones, and they can download so much of literature. But the main question is what to follow, what not to follow become a bigger question now, because there is too much of information. You really don't know which information is correct and which is the right guidance. And what one point 20 years back, there was no literature at all available for any filmmaker who really wants to get a grasp of this craft. So these kind of seminars and discussions will definitely help them to understand what to pick, what not to pick, how to approach cinema, and how to understand. So more or less, as I told you from the beginning itself, we are all filmmakers. This is just a different medium, that's all. Otherwise, we know how to tell a story. Now, how through this medium we can tell a story is a technical aspect of it. But the best part is the aesthetics of cinema, what you should tell, what is required to be told is the most important. Not just the success or failure, the commercial viabilities of it, but telling a good story, really sharing your experiences to the next generation, or rather documenting the visual history of a present era can happen through cinema. I just give you an example. Right now, I'm making a film in the backdrop of around 25-30 years back, this thing. Most of my assistants, those who are in this current generation, have no clue how would somebody dress in 1980. There is no reference for them except for cinema. Now we are just going through that cinema to understand how the life and topography of that and how the behavior patterns are, how they used to talk, all these things. Now we have a visual documentaries or visual documents we have. We can give an enormous contribution to the coming generations that you know how this generation has conducted its life, what mistakes we have conducted and what mistakes we have done. So the cinema you are making is not just a piece of entertainment, but a visual document for the future generations to understand your times. So you need to be very careful in portraying the reality of cinema, the reality of life. That's the reason that points like, Gangaputrulu and other films, for example, for a matter of, I was just wondering how such a big chunk of people, almost 25 lakh people are residing in Gulf from Telugu origin. Their story was not told at all. That's a cruel part from the side of our medium. We should tell everybody's story. The film is not just meant for the NRI batch people only. It belongs to people. We need to tell their stories. We need to talk about fishermen community. We need to talk about these people, their issues also. Through social media and through the YouTube and other things, you can tell wonderful short stories which were not explored by the mainstream cinema. And I just don't want you to, I'm not taking you as passive listeners to somebody sitting there and telling something. Always consider, and I'm talking to people, those who are capable of making their mark in this industry by telling good stories. That is what actually I'm expecting. That's the reason I'm sitting here, because I wanted at least one person out of this bunch come up and say that day we start doing that and we are doing it now. I'll tell you a classic example. When I was invited to Central University in Hyderabad in 2010, after release of my Gangaputrulu, I gave a talk to them and I with the mass communications. It was long back, almost 10, 11 years back. And then I happened to go to a film opening. I met Priyadarshan. Priyadarshan, all of you know, who became popular with Pelli Choopulu, and after that he acted in Malaysia and Yadiratnalu, films like that. So then I happened to go for the opening of the cinema, and I was telling that this gentleman really is doing a wonderful job on screen. We should definitely take him in one of our film. Then he came to me and told that, sir, do you remember me? I attended that class that which you gave in 2010, and I am your student, and you are part of my film journey. Anytime you wanted to make a film, I am ready to come and give an audition for you. I'm waiting that kind of a surprise to happen from this batch also. Maybe 5 years down, like somebody from this student that will be making in the industry and saying, "Sir, I attended that day a meeting when you have discussed about this." That's what I want to listen. See, if at all can be part of lighting something that which already it is there, we can just give a spark. I don't think cinema can inspire change society, but yes, cinema can change or rather push people and it can become a catalyst for people, those who really wanted to change, those who really wanted to take a step. It can give that nudge, it can give that extra nudge. I wanted to be that. I wanted to be that part of a discussion where I can also be part of your already prepared mindset. I give a nudge to you and to give a feeling to you that you are somebody the industry is waiting for. Take yourself seriously and come out with your beautiful stories. We are all the world ready to listen, and the digital space especially. International audience are ready to wait, and they are eager to listen to your story and watch your film. Because now we are seeing a Korean cinema in Vizag. In Inox of Vizag, I've seen Korean cinema. A surprise. Maybe somebody will be watching a Telugu cinema in Korea and Malaysia and some place, some remote place at which even you have not heard of. That is how globally now we are united to the medium of entertainment, and thanks to the digital space and to the OTT platforms which made this opportunity possible for us to reach across the global audience and to receive the story ideas from the global filmmakers. Thank you. I'm open to questions. Like, I don't want it to be a monologue.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, hi, Sunil sir. This is Jagannath. I am 2014 passed out from Lindy, and currently working as a team lead in IBM, and as well as in parallel writing stories and making films. And even in Lindy, I had shooted one demo film, which is in post production currently.
Very nice.
Yeah, and working as a writer for a few interviews and all for new web channels. I'm working as a writer.
Okay.
So my question is, which I have asked this question in 2012 as well to you only. We had a discussion by the time of Oka Romantic Crime Katha. By the time I had asked the same question. The thing is whether cinema is impacting the society or society is impacting the cinema. Which is the correct statement?
I would say it's a reflection of each other. It's something like, you stand before the mirror and it shows you. And vis-a-vis, the same thing happens. Cinema has to reflect the society.
Yeah.
And society will also be understanding. Like, that's the reason I'm telling cinema can be a catalyst for somebody who really wants to change. It cannot change. Okay, some people say that because of cinema, the crime rate is increasing and all this stuff kind of a thing. And I always deny that because no cinema has influenced Ravanasara to kidnap Sita. Okay, it is an age-old practice. It is happening. It's been there. And some people lament the filmmakers like me saying that you show all the violence when in every reel, and in the climax only you'll be saying it is bad. But you are showing violence and all the bad deeds done by the bad fellows, all the 12 reels, and the 13th reel somebody is coming and telling it is wrong. So what are you doing is what people ask. I say this is how stories are told. Even Valmiki did the same thing. In the 14th reel only Ravanasara was killed. He was not killed in the 10th reel or 8th reel. This is what happens. See, we need a point where audience also should feel like that bad has to be eliminated. We need to create an atmosphere that, we need to create that response and reflex in the audience to make them synergize with the idea that, we need to condemn it. When we reach their expectations and when we do that, they get that vicarious pleasure of, taking out the bad out of the society. But the main problem is when you start celebrating, when you just start celebrating hooliganism, then definitely it has to be condemned. That's what I say. It's not we are against violence, but glorifying it and giving stamp, saying that you are good because you have done something and you made your money, you made your life. Then you are giving a wrong signal. You should not give that kind of an encouragement. Otherwise, showing that is not bad. That's what. And some people say that this sweeping under the carpet is a major issue with us. We don't want to acknowledge the serious issues. For example, the first film you are talking about, ATM not working, that film was made by me. Okay, the first question you asked about ATM not working, that film I made when the demonetization happened. Okay, when I made that film in that demonetization period and I submitted to the censor and they didn't want it. They changed the name to ATM working, not was struck by the censor department, and it suffered a lot in the hands of censor because they don't want the truth to be discussed. That is the bad thing. So because I just made that film out of demonetization, that's what I'm telling. I have taken inspiration from the life to make that film. Because of my film, demonetization was not started. Due to the demonetization, what kind of suffering people have gone through, I made a film. But we as a society are not ready to accept some facts. We wanted to brush it or rather sweep it under the carpet. I always jokingly say that my thanks card was also given by censor government, by censor department. You know what the thanks card says? I sincerely thank our Prime Minister and Finance Minister and Governor of RBI. They wanted me to cut that. I said, see, this is my country and I'm thanking my Prime Minister. What's the problem with you? What's the problem? Then he said, we know you are sarcastic. You are being sarcastic in thanking your Prime Minister. We don't want that card to be there. I removed that card. I had to remove the card. So that's what. We always try to inspire, get inspiration from the society, is what my feeling is. And nobody is going to take anything first time from films and do it. That's my submission, sir.
And I have another question, sir. So as David Hitchcock said, the basic thing for a cinema is always three things. That is script, right? So here the thing is, people are getting motivated. People are getting motivated towards more right now. In the editing skills or cinematographic skills or color pattern skills, those kind of skills are more improving. I mean, VFX or anything. But the new generation filmmakers are very less concentrating. I mean, the new age writers or filmmakers very less concentrating upon the script part.
Yeah.
If the script is not good, if these things are already good, there is no use, right? The script is, yeah, that's what I mean. If you can give your inputs towards the script, then that will be more helpful.
Yeah. See, basic part is without a soul, whatever beauty and all those things that which can never entice you for more than some moment. So the beautiful body can entice you only for a limited period, but a good soul, a good human being will remain in your mind forever. That is the point of having a good script. A good mind and good body is a great combination. If you don't have good body, but still, you have a good heart, but still you can create an impact. So that's what I can tell as an example of romantic crime kada. It was made with a very, very, very limited technical inputs. It was a very, very technically beginner's film. But because of its content, people have accepted it. At the same time, when big budget films were released, they couldn't stand in theaters, but this film ran for 50 days in almost 40 centers. That is because of the content. That is because of the soul of the cinema. That soul that I took from the students of Lendi College, I would proudly say that, that day, the kind of interaction I had with them, the inputs they gave, because I have reflected their mind. It is not my intelligence I wanted to throw on them, but I have taken their inputs. I really wanted to resonate what they are thinking. they related themselves to that. That's the reason they appreciate it. See, I always tell one example, like after making Sonta Uru, somebody asked me, why didn't you show the village more beautifully? And I said, see, you have every right to aspire for a beautiful wife, but never comment about your mother, how beautiful she is, kind of a thing. Sonta Uru is like that. Your native village, whichever name it is, you got to appreciate because it is Sonta Uru. It is your native place. It's your roots. You should accept your roots. I like my village because it got very green kind of a thing. It is not the idea. You like your village because it is a natural thing, a natural phenomenon. The same thing I tell. So it has to come through your roots. See why Tamil cinema is flourishing. Some people say that Malayalam cinema is flourishing because stories are coming from the roots. People from villages, people from their roots, they are coming with their storylines and they are putting cinema on screen. But whereas majority of the Telugu cinema is confining itself to the urban scenario, rather we are trying to make cinemas to please somebody rather than trying to tell the stories that which really touch them. That's why the stories from the heart are less and the stories from the mind are more. When your mind is working, you will be more calculating whether this scene works or not, whether I'll get claps for this dialogue or not. These kind of calculations go through mind. But whereas your heart is a better judge in writing a script. But definitely technicality, it has to come from your mind. So the cinema married with the mind and heart can be the best combination or a combo, I would say that. Did I make myself clear, sir?
Thanks for the
Thank you so much, sir. I really loved the part where you said explore what is not explored. I mean, and the way you told about Tollywood movies or Telugu movies being made, that you want to impress someone else instead of bringing out the roots, which is very true to the knowledge, which is why I personally have lost interest in watching Telugu movies. I wanted things to come out from their own and not just to impress people, but to make sure that that video is impacting others, that movie is impacting the others. Right? So really thank you. Thank you for giving us that talk. If there are any questions, participants, please you can give your questions to sir, and I hope he is ready to answer those questions. So please give us your questions in the chat box, or you can use your mic to give us your questions.
Hi, sir.
Hi.
Sir, what should a writer...
Please.
Hello.
Please continue, Mr.
Hello.
Kalki.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please.
How should a writer need to think, sir?
See, it's something like, some ideas. For example, some people say, how do you write a story? See, some ideas that, when you are walking, you just something that which really haunts you, like, it actually pesters you that I should be told to the people, or rather I should be shared. My experience should be shared. That kind of a feeling whenever your art gets. So try to make it as a story. It will definitely inspire the world. I'm telling you, anything that which touched your heart and which is haunting you. If any sequence that which you happen to see in a bus stand or in any place, and the whole night you have been thinking about that, it has a spirit in it which is really pestering a human being like you, and you really want the itch to tell it to somebody. I would say that the itch to tell it to somebody, you make sure that you got a story with you. That's what you try to tell, and the try to listen.
Sir,
Clear?
one more question, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, one more question. How can we increase our writing skills for a perfect story or something if the output will be good?
Yeah. See, like biological thing, like, we eat to get energy, and then we spend it, and then again we eat. The same way, writing and reading are like that. You need to give something to your mind for it to process, for it to generate newer ideas. You don't eat anything and expect some muscle to happen. No, it is not possible. You don't watch anything and try to get something. No, you got to listen, watch, and read for your mind. Like, you need to give to your mind so that the food, whatever you give it, it gets digested, and then it becomes your own. When you eat an apple, you don't become an apple. That apple doesn't become hard. Okay, the apple becomes you after a point of time. The same way, the information you have taken, when it is imbibed in you, it becomes your ideas. It becomes you. It interacts with your personality and it comes out as your pure. See, whatever I'm talking, I can say that I am talking, but it's not. It is what I heard, the words I learned, the experiences I have gone through. All these things are coming out now. It is the outcome of my inputs. Don't expect any output without any input. So there got to be more inputs and then process it properly, organize it, and deliver it. The same way storytelling is also happening. I don't want you to say, or rather, I'm not encouraging piracy or vulgarism. Just read something and write it. No. Okay. Get the essence of it. After all, there is nothing original. To be very clear, nothing is original. If somebody says that I got an original story, he's just talking rubbish because he has no idea and he has got very limited idea of saying what originality is. Even the word I'm delivering is not my original word. I have not discovered this word. I rather understood by various readings and my social skills or something. I learned this word. The same way, my experiences are also my teachers. I have taken it from the experiences I have gone through. So it is not original. It could be somebody's experience or your experience. So don't go after the tag of originality. So have a feeling of the real, genuine feelings of you. If you can put it, then it becomes your original story. Okay.
Sir, thank you, sir.
So, yeah, read, watch, listen, and reproduce. Write, talk.
So we have one more question. How
Yeah.
colors and cinematography impact the aesthetic of the film?
Yeah.
How does
See,
it
color
impact?
color has psychological effects. That's what the color psychology, if you can understand. So in some places you see green is used mostly in hospitals and all, the association of colors are there. So red gives that rage. So these things we have experienced. We have seen. When you wanted to create that wild energy, like you put more reds and all. When you want to soothe somebody, like you go for the blues and all. Like when you sit before an ocean, you feel the calmness because that got a psychological impact on your mind. The blue gives that coolness in your mind. So if color has its own specific connotations, the kind of psychological impact it can create on you. So basing on that only, the colors that a cinematographer chooses, the art director chooses. And before going even for the shoot of a film, we'll be understanding or trying to get a tint of that cinema. What has to be the color of the cinema? I'll be discussing it with my DOP. Like any previous era film we are trying to make in the film in the era of 1990s or 1980s, we'll be going for a little brownish look and all to give the nostalgia, to just revisit the history kind of thing and taking you to the place. If it is a brighter colors and all the stuff, like you'll be thinking it is the original. You give a golden Spanish color, then it means it is the fantasy element of it. So every color has its own psychological impact on you, and based on that, you will be choosing colors. Any specific thing you wanted to ask, or you think your question is answered?
Good evening,
So
sir.
it was Rajesh. It
Yeah,
was
good
Rajesh
evening.
who asked, sir. So I hope he has his
what.
answer now.
Yeah, that's what actually. If there is any specific point you wanted to touch, and I don't know, like whether I have touched it or not. I just wanted to get a clarity from him. Yeah, somebody was asking
Sir,
something.
good evening,
Yes.
sir.
Yeah, good evening. Bro.
Sir, what's the difference between the script writing and the screenwriting, sir?
See, Stories, screenplays, script, these are all things little interlinked only. It's nothing, it separates from anything. Script is something that you write on the paper, like you give the left, right, and all the stuff and all. But screenwriting, like imagining the screen and writing for the screen, where the visual representation, visual presentation is more. Okay, and these technical words are used sometimes vis-a-vis for this, for that word you will be using. Okay, somebody asked me the difference of it because I'll be writing stories, screenplay, dialogues, and all the stuff. One gentleman asked me, how can you handle all these departments? Then I told him I don't know the difference. That's the reason I think I consider it's a storytelling. That's it for me. I really exactly don't demarcate, okay, this is screenwriting, this is dialogue writing, nothing of that sort. When I visualize a story, whatever I see, I write. And I try to again translate from the paper to the screen. First, you visualize, it's a very visual thing, and you start keeping it as a mediator. Mediation is a paper where I try to dump what I have seen on the paper, and not technically, I try to translate everything onto the screen. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so don't
Yeah,
get
thank you,
bogged
sir.
down in the technicalities of script wordings and all this stuff. The idea is you need to narrate a story. How best you can tell. The left part of the script will be dealing with the visual part of it, and the dialogue part will be there in the right side. Mostly that is what the Indian script writing is taken care of.
And how to write a screenplay grippingly, sir? And that's a small question.
How to make screenplay gripping?
Gripping, yeah, gripping screenplay,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. See, you as an audience, what you expect from the cinema, that always you should keep in your mind. Never leave the audience in you to go away from you. Don't let the intellectuality of your brain pushing away the general audience in you. I always proudly say I'm an average audience. I'm not an intellectual. As long as I can remain as an ordinary audience, I can make something that which can relate to me. Okay. The same thing. If you get bored, then naturally everybody gets bored. If I am telling you something and halfway through I understand that it is something it's lagging and all this stuff, audience also will feel the same. You need to have the discretion of being a good audience, first of all. And technically, for a 90 minutes cinema, now the structure, grammar has evolved after language. The same way, even the grammar for the script also has evolved. So usually for a 90-minute cinema, they always expect in the 15th minute of the cinema, you need to have a hook point. Audience should understand where your story is taking him to. If I start telling a story, there is a boy who happens to love a girl and they fall in love and they went to their families and they express their love, their parents agreed, they get married, they got children. You get bored. What's happening, sir? Tell me the story. Because you want some interesting element that which otherwise you would expect. If I'm telling a flat narration like today we came, met, talked, discussed, and we went off. What is there? In between, you should say that some student in the team started yelling at this fellow. What are you telling that you made such a lousy film and now you are giving a class to us? Then it becomes a scene. Okay. Then it becomes something we'll be discussing later also. You know what happened? That fellow came as a great intellectual and started telling some stuff that which we really didn't enjoy. And somebody is asking, hello, hello. Somebody lost his connection or what? So then some conflict is what you expect for a scene to work out. If there is no conflict, you will not remember it. Okay. So that's the reason a plain road is never remembered. A road with hurdles is only remembered. Okay. When you go on a boulevard in a village, then you see the bumps and everything, you remember the journey. If you are going in a highway with 120 speed, then there is no experience in it. You are just reaching your destination. What is the fun in it? You want something to happen. Somewhere police should stop you and there is and a charge is written and you didn't accept. You went to court and all the stuff. Then it is a story. I started from Hyderabad and I reached Vizag. There is no story. You couldn't reach Vizag and some problem happened in Gazuwaka. Your friend came and saved you from the scenario. and you thought you will be dead, or you thought something will happen to you, your dad will get scold you and all this stuff, but you safely came out. That's a happy ending of a cinema. Sometimes what happens is you couldn't return, or you lost that opportunity. That's a sad ending, either tragedy or a comedy. That's what actually ultimately we are going to have. That's the reason most of the Telugu films either end in a marriage function hall, or in a railway station, or in an airport. If you have more budget, it will end in airport. If you have less budget, it will stop in railway station. If no budget like me, stop in bus stop. So that is the thing, because there are points of no returns. Okay, so that is what actually a cinema will always have. That's a pre-climax thing, where the hero becomes so weak, he got no step or no possibility of coming out of that situation. Then whether things work in his favor or didn't work in his favor is what happens in the end of the act 2. That happens almost in the 75th minute of cinema. If you watch any cinema in Hollywood, the same pattern they follow. 15th minute, there is a hook point. They know where the story is going to. And in the 75th minute, you find the hero is in all the issues. If you see the old Chiranjeevi films and all, you'll be seeing the hero is tied, and his mother is tied, and his sister is pregnant, she's crying there, and his brother leg is broken. All the problems in the world will be coming in the pre-climax stage. You think the hero will die. In some film, actually hero is buried under the ground in a car, and then the mother else. Then he comes out of the car and fights. In some film, you see that 6 bullets are hit to that hero. He fell dead, and then the sister is crying, Anna. Then he gets up and goes and does the final fight. That's what you see. This is the story. This is the structure. Okay, 15th minute and 75th minute, something you remember. Unfortunately for Telugu cinema, regional cinema, you got another thing is interval bank. In between also, you need to have some twist. Otherwise, people will just go like that. They will not return back. That's the reason you wanted that intermediate block also, that interval block also. Hollywood cinema has a habit of selling popcorn in the beginning of cinema. That's why they are very happy. Whether you watch it or not, they are least bothered. But whereas in Indian cinema, popcorn is sold in the interval time. So they want the audience to remain in the theater till the end of the cinema. So these are the points you got to remember while making a gripping script. A gripping screenplay needs at least 3 points where the conflict point is established.
Okay, sir.
Hello,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, good evening, sir. Sir, my doubt is how to reach with a script, sir. If I have a script, how to reach out, sir? And how you reached in your starting film, sir. This is my doubt, sir. Can you clarify?
Yes.
Sir?
Yeah. My case is a little special case because I started little late. That's why I always envy students that those who want to really start early. You are all lucky because you can take rejection for some time and yet come back and again do it and try it, and finally you can make your mark. When I wanted to enter industry, I was already 30 years. I thought, okay, it is going to be a big difficulty for me, like starting from the scratch. I cannot take rejection for 10 years and after that start something. Then what I did is the easiest way to enter this industry is to be a producer. So that's why I became a producer and started making films. Okay, then that may not be easy for everybody. So that it's a typical case. But the thing is, see, everybody needs a story. One thing, if you are making 200 films per annum in Telugu, 250 stories are required. So you need to come up with some stories. So the story has to be something like that, which otherwise as a writer, I should be envied. And I should be envying you. Like, how come this guy got such a brilliant idea? That idea you need to come up with. See, one my friend asked, like, one of his relatives is specifying that, he wanted to narrate a story. And because I was not interested in listening anybody's stories, because these people have little insecurity saying that, this fellow stole my story. Why should I have this burden of, taking that kind of a guilt? I don't want to listen anybody's stories. Because he will be telling in a story that, sir, there is heroine, she stands in the bus stop, and the hero comes in a bike and he proposes. So, okay, in my next film also it will be there. He starts telling, see, this fellow has taken this point from me. Why should I have, after all, at any point, whether it is bus stand or railway station, some place, some boy has to propose some girl somewhere. So that I'll be doing. Why should I take this risk? That's why I say I don't want to listen anybody's stories. Then my friend insisted, like, see, he's my relative, and if you are not listening, he'll think that definitely I'm avoiding him. Just give him an audience. Okay, you just listen. Okay, he came and started narrating story. Halfway through, I told the rest of the story. And he shocked, yes, sir, it's the same thing. Then he asked him, why you are telling me the Prem Nagar story once again? I already saw that film. So, as said, film guys also will be copying from other films, no, sir. I said, fine, I do agree. Then why should I take it from you? Then I can copy myself direct, right? Why should I give name to you, fame to you, and also money, and then take the same copy story? You give me something that which you think is never there, like, which is so original, and it is a shocking thing for me. Okay, that kind of a different approach you need to have. When you don't have open doors for you, you need to create a door for yourself. That's very hard, but still you got to try. If it is easy, there will be 1,000 films made every year in Telugu industry. It is not easy. That's why only 200 films are made every year. One thing you have to remember, all the 200 story writers are still alive. Those who have written in last year and previous year. But why only 200 stories this year? What happened to the new storycomers who want to tell the stories? Maybe 10 more storytellers have come. So otherwise, previously proved 200 people, 10 people lost their job, right? So it is not an easy place where you come with a story and immediately you are invited, come bro, you take this advance and enjoy your life. We'll invest 2 crores on this movie. If it becomes a hit, you can become a Trivikram. No, it doesn't happen like that. Okay. It can definitely happen in your fantasy and dreams. But there is always one person who can break this. That would be you. So that has to be your spirit. That has to be your spirit. You can say that, and out of 200 films, 10 new people came, no? I don't want to be pessimistic in that sense. I always want to be optimistic, and I always want you also to be optimistic. You come out. You come with such a bang that, any producer or hero should feel flat for that. Okay, I want story, no matter what. See, you have seen so many instances when a writer comes with a story, producers gave chance to them to direct their stories. We have seen scenarios like that. We have seen so many short film makers getting opportunities to make big films. See, the potential if you have, the industry is ready to accept you. You are aware of this or not? There is Pushpaka Vimanam, that's what we say in Ramayanam. It is popularly known. Pushpaka Vimanam. Have you heard of that, all of you? Pushpaka Vimanam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
We know
sir.
that.
You know the beauty of Pushpaka Vimanam? There is always a seat for one more person. That is this industry. Okay, there is always a place for one more person. That person could be you. But the problem is you always want to take somebody's chair. So why would I leave my chair, yeah, for you? I will have my chair. I will not leave until and unless I get COVID or something, and a bad day, I will leave this chair. Otherwise, I will not. Don't expect me to vacate this chair for you. You come with your uniqueness, and the chair is waiting for you. Aspire to replace somebody. Try to be yourself, and you got a place. That is what actually we are missing. We are always trying to replace somebody. The very idea of replacing somebody or doing somebody's work again a better way, why? Let him do. He's always doing. No? Some people ask me, sir, why don't you try some commercial cinema kind of a thing? It is really working out well. Farana people are doing. Said, okay, they are doing. No, let them do. They are doing wonderfully. Majority of them are my friends. I am very happy for them. Let me do my kind of cinema. My cinema also to be told, right? So these ideas also should be shared, right? So like that, your film also has to be told. I don't know what cinema you are going to. Definitely it should not be my cinema. Definitely, it should not be somebody else's cinema. Like, he became a VFX hit, so let us make a VFX film. No. You make some film that which is close to your heart, that which you can proudly say, it came from my heart. This is my baby. This is me. That film I am waiting for. I would be the audience film without any issue. If you try to replace me, I'll compare. That fellow didn't do as well as I have done. Because it is my subject you are trying to touch. Your subject. Excuse me?
No, sir, nothing.
Yeah, by chance, Shalini spoke. But anyway, sir, we have one more question, a couple of questions even in the chat window too. Patnaikni Vivek is trying to ask you, saying good evening. We would love to hear about who is your favorite director from Telugu and in what aspect in him made him your favorite?
See, it would be unfair if I name a particular individual because everybody who made a film really some cinemas that which made me cry, which made me laugh, which made the real emotions from me to come out. I salute him. So it's like, if somebody asks, like, who is your favorite teacher? I was molded because of my teachers. So everybody has their own way of teaching things. But without a maths teacher, I wouldn't have been what I am, and without my English teacher, I wouldn't be what I am here. The same way, every director, even new directors, with their new approach, as long as they have an original approach, I salute them. I respect them. And I am waiting to respect you guys also if you come out with your original product and thought process. Because you are offering a spice, a share of life, like, an element of life that which I otherwise missed. See, the world you have seen through your eyes is new to me. The world I have seen is new to me. So in no way I am better than you, I am greater than, because I didn't see what you have seen. You know something far better than me. So your subject, your story, your approach that I rather would like to relish. There are films in Malayalam I have seen, Tamil, people like Maniratnam, Balachandra sir, and all these people have influenced a lot of our thinking also. See, so many people of you, like, even will not be aware the word Sutti came from a film. Otherwise, it is not there in the dictionary. Great person like Janjala has written that word Sutti and defined it, and now we are using unknowingly as if it is a part of our vocabulary. That kind of a strong contribution cinema can give linguistically, otherwise the culturally, the thinking wise. Shankarabharanam inspired so many people to learn music. Sagar Sangam for that matter, Vishwanath sir, and all these legends, like, we are so lucky that they left so many books or rather visual documents for us to explore. Say, it is really ungrateful from my side, if I miss out any name. That's where rather I don't want to answer that, and I would say every director and everybody teaches me. That's what I'm telling. Every student also teaches me. Yeah, question taught me. That's what I told. My romantic crime kada is an inspiration or rather a contribution from the student community. Okay. So like that, so accept them as gurus because they have done something, they learned something, or they did something better than you in particular aspect. And you can be a guru also at one point of time. Did I make myself clear?
Good evening, sir. Sir, first of all, thank you so much for sharing your valuable information with us.
My pleasure.
For us, movie is just an entertainment. But after listening your words, our perspective towards movies is completely changed. Thank you so much, sir, for changing our thinking towards movies with your valuable words. Sir, if you would permit me, I just want to ask you a few questions regarding your journey with film industry. So can I?
Please. Yeah, please.
So what does cinema taught you?
So it taught me to be a better human being. That's what I understood. Because I'm trying to condense so many human experiences into one piece of a story, or rather in 2 hours, if I have to condense so many of emotions, like I learned a lot in that process.
So how did people receive your first movie?
So many people didn't even receive it. That's the tragedy. So my first film name is Silence Please. It was a silent film. There were no dialogues in that film. It was a story of a deaf and mute couple. They could not talk. They could not hear. The rest of the world will be talking, but the film is shown in their perspective. I wanted every audience to experience their life through them. That's why I made Silence Please. It was a love story. Love is no language is the caption. So love is beyond language. You don't need to talk to convince somebody. If you look into my eyes, if you feel I am genuine, that's it. So that is what actually I want to tell.
So what is the movie that made you struggle and bought fame as well?
See, every movie, it's like, bringing up your children kind of a thing. So, see, after all, whether they are successful or not, you always consider your children as your children. Like, some people bring you name, fame, money, and everything. Some don't, but still they are children. Okay. See, any product that which comes out bad, it is because of your nurturing, the way you brought them up. I consider if a film didn't work, I don't blame that film, but definitely the parents. If a child is not doing good, it is the responsibility of the parents and the teachers. They couldn't mold him properly. That's the reason he became like that. So we have no right to blame any cinema. That's what I say. The parents should be blamed, not the children. The same way, and I do have some issues with my children. Means my films. Some didn't work, but rather I couldn't make them work. They didn't serve the purpose what they are intended to. And but it's an enjoyment process. See, I am not a person who waits for the result to make me happy or this thing. See, I want to enjoy the entire journey of entire process of it. See, the moment I sat here from the 6 o'clock till this time, I've been enjoying every word I'm telling and in every question I'm listening. I'm not bothered about the outcome of it, whether one Pridarshan would come out of this bunch or not, whether somebody will remember this or not, whether somebody really take it seriously and do something from this or not. But with the confidence that somebody might really take interest out of this talk. I'm waiting for the one person to happen. It's not about that whichever the number that which is appearing. I'm just waiting for that one person to happen. It may happen or it may not happen. But I have done my job genuinely, sincerely, from my heart. And I'm happy. Even if no outcome is coming also, I'm still happy because I've done my job and I did it with my heart. Okay. Loving every moment of your work, whichever work you are doing, whether it is engineering, whatever profession you are in, if you are not enjoying it, if you are not interested of doing it and only bother to listen to that, then better leave it. Because life is such a wonderful opportunity. Don't just waste it for some money or some building or a car or all these stupid nonsensical things that which will never come with you. I'm telling it is nothing but experiences. The richer the experiences, the happier you will be. Okay. So that's what I've been enjoying with my films. So there is no struggle at all. I enjoyed every moment.
Sir, how is your first experience on set?
On set, I was just actually very curious, and I was like a small child trying to operate a computer system kind of a thing. I just, after showing my film also, the first question I asked my audience is, do you understand this cinema? I'm not asking whether it is good or bad. Good or bad is your personal judgment. Whether you understood it or not is my concern. If you understood what I told, then okay, I communicate. You didn't like what I explained, then it is your choice. But you don't understand what I'm saying means then something is very bad with me. I should improve my communication skills. That's what actually. My first thing actually I want At least my first shot should not go waste. I wanted to make successful first shot. You know what I aimed at? I wanted to shoot an empty house. So then there won't be any retakes for me, right? I tried. I kept my camera and I asked, sir, this is my first take because I don't want it to go waste. I don't want it to be a flop shot. I said, okay, nobody should be there. Okay, an empty house is a shot. I kept my camera and I shouted it, camera rolling. Then immediately what I found is my assistant director is running across the house, shouting at somebody not to enter the frame. So even that shot, I missed it and I had to go for a second take. That is life. Okay. Things happen the way you expect it to. But still, you should even enjoy your flaws. You should enjoy your little mistakes, mishaps, and all the stuff. Because it's just for an experience. See, you are not going to take anything from this, excepting for your experiences. Relish, cherish, enjoy every moment of your filmmaking or your studies and anything. So that kind of a disaster I made on my first day of my shoot. And there is another big problem happened is there is a little leak of light into the reels. It was being processed in Ramoji Film City. And after 3 days shoot, what I found is whatever I shot was wasted because of the light leakage into that cartridge. I had to reshoot a lot of sequences. All these mistakes, I just take it as an experience. Like, you know. So I am made a better person now in that sense. See, anybody will have all these disasters, like don't take it seriously and don't yell at somebody that, you know, you did wrong and all this stuff. Then anybody can do it. You know, anything can go wrong. That's what Murphy's Law says. Whatever can go wrong will go wrong. That's it. Let it be. But whatever happens, you should always be happy and you should always be open to life. Okay, there is always a tomorrow where your signature is waiting to be given. Okay.
So what was your feeling when you said action for the first time?
That's what actually I thought it is going to be an okay take. But as that fellow was running and I started shouting, a smile. Arey, na first shot kuda chedagotavara. This is what I shouted at. That's what. Okay. But that was fun, my dear. That was fun. Your failure also should be a fun to you. Don't take it seriously. That's what I. Life is not that big to take everything seriously. And it is not very small also to take everything lightly. You should have the discrimination of, you know, what to take seriously and what not to take. So never hurt anybody. For that, you got to be very, very particular. Like, you know, don't take hurting somebody small thing. You can hurt in the work process. Film may go wrong. Anything can happen. But never insult a person in the set because he will ruin somebody's morale. That is a greater damage we'll be doing. A film flopping is not a big deal, but a human being should not flop. So that's what I learned. And that is always I teach myself, like, try to be not a great filmmaker, but a good human being. That's first you be that. Then let us see whether you can be a great human, great director, a great lecturer, professor, and all this stuff. They're all secondaries. Good human being. That's it. Be a smiling father, be a smiling friend, be a smiling student, a happy student, and a happy teacher. So let there be some positive energy happening around. That is what the whole purpose of life. That is what the purpose of cinema also.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I mean,
you,
the
sir.
comments that are coming here, great words, sir. Learning from mistakes gives you perfection. So yes, apart from learning about movies or cinema and digital space, we have learned a lot about how to become a good human being, which is extremely important in this present time. Very, very important. True, sir. Because there are so many people who are losing their values, losing their disciplines and every other positive thing, thinking they are the best in everything. It's very, very important for us to make sure, keep our traditions, keep our roots safe and explore it more in a positive way, and you have helped us learn so much about it, sir. Thank you so much. It's already 7:32, so there are so many other questions here, but I believe we are running out of time right now. So, Hari sir, is it okay if we ask a couple more questions, or should we wrap it up?
That's up to the participants and the resource person. It is not me to decide because I'm just only a bridge builder.
I'm open, but their patience and your timing and all the stuff.
Jessica, now you have to decide.
Oh, that's a tough decision here, sir.
Yeah.
Anyway, I always see to that my film doesn't go beyond the time frame, 2 hours, because I know I'm very scared that audience these days, their patience levels are very very. This thing.
And anyway, quickly, one or two questions. One or two questions from chat window, sir.
Yeah, please.
Srinivas Babu, sir, your time is reserved for you, sir. Kindly wait until the end of the show. I'll call you, sir. Let's give the preference for the sir. Yeah. Sir. Lenovo.
Yes, sir. My computer name has been become like this.
No problem. You can say your name, sir, please.
Sir, my name is Pawan, sir. I am from Lendi and I am from branch of CSIT. I have a small question and a query about this cinematic industry. Sir, and how to improve the skill of acting and how to be the best actor who can grab the hearts of the audience. How to be the best actor and how to improve the skill of acting. Because you are the first person sitting behind the screen and seeing the persons in your script acting before your camera. So can you guide us in this way of acting? This is my question.
I hope you understood the question.
No, that is a
So Pawan, could you mind dropping it in the chat window so that we'll be reading out your question, because your voice is really low and then it is hazy also. We could not hear properly.
I was able to understand a little bit, sir. So maybe I can help. So his question was how to become a good actor and how to show that performance in front of the audience in a perfect way. I hope that was the question, Pawan.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Improving skill of acting.
Improving your skill of action.
Okay. See, main problem is to be yourself before the camera is the toughest thing. Some people think that acting, emoting, crying, and all these things are very tough on screen. No, it is very easy. What I always say, my artist said, like if 4 people are standing in a particular given shot, and 2 people have dialogues, and 2 people have no dialogue at all, but still having their presence felt without doing any overacting, like eyebrow shift, all the stuff, like all these overacting we'll be doing on the screen. But being yourself or being natural is the toughest part of that. For that, first of all, you need to have observations and you need to understand the character. When you understand the character and you start feeling as a character, naturally the body gives its own reflection for that. And that reflex is what is required for an actor. You don't deliberately try to do anything to show your presence there. Be yourself. That is the toughest thing in the acting part. Okay.
That's a new thing that I have learned now, sir. Actually, acting in front of a camera is not as hard as we think. But I tried a little bit, but then it didn't work out for me. But yeah, depending on the person again. So yeah, for sure. Any other questions, students?
Hi, sir. This is Tejas from CSIT. So, what is your favorite movie, and what made you like that movie, sir? Which aspect did you like from that movie, sir?
See, every year, like every I watch a film, a part of a film that which influences me more. See, for example, when I was in 7th standard, I happened to see Vasanta Kokila film, Kamal Hassan, this thing. I fell in so much in love with the characters that I couldn't sleep for the entire day. The next day in the morning show, I came and I ran off in the interval because I wanted to see both of them happy, because I couldn't see their separation. So that happened. These films, like, they impacted me a lot. Like, Nayagan's film, when I watched in awe, and I thought, okay, this is cinema. And after watching Sanjay Leela Bhansali says Hum Aapke Hai Kaun. No, not Hum Aapke Hai Kaun. So that's Salman Khan and Aishwarya Rai's film, Hum Dil De Chuke Sans. I watched it in Vizag, and then I thought, okay, why I am sitting in Vizag, and why still I am here? Then I decided to shift myself to Hyderabad. I was running a newspaper then. I was running a comfortable life here. Like, I am having a magazine and a newspaper running, and Haribabu sir knows it very well. Then suddenly one day I decided, no, I shouldn't be here. And I am suffocating myself in a different thing that which I am not really interested in. This is something that which is asking me. So a story is asking me to be told. That's the reason I went. There's so many films which influenced me. After watching Punnagai Mannan, that was released as Dance Master in Telugu, I was in Chennai doing my engineering there. And I felt like, Kamal Hassan jumping with a girl and committing suicide is something that is so fascinating. I really wanted to commit suicide with a girl, but unfortunately, I didn't have a girlfriend. That's why I didn't commit suicide. I'm telling, cinema has that kind of an impact. So every film, I respect any cinema that which moved me, touched me, and taught me. And I don't say that no film will cease to teach anything. Every film has something that which can teach you. It has the potential to teach you something.
Hi sir, how can we identify our story is good enough for making a movie?
See, if it is really haunting you, that's why I'll always have a cold storage mechanism. I write a story and I keep it somewhere. After 6 months, I again revisit that story and I read. If it is exciting enough to me, then I think it is a good story. If it bores me, I'll just tear it off and put it in the dustbin. You are the better judge. You are the better judge whether your story is good enough for a second time reading. Not just yesterday I've written, today definitely you'll be liking it. It's not that. It's like love affair. The first sight, okay, you love that girl to the death. After 6 months also you have the same feeling, then she is going to be your life partner. The 6th month, you felt like avoiding her phone call means, okay, that's only for a temporary crush. It's not more than that. Story is also like that. If it really haunts you and you want to really make something out of it, then it is your cinema. It is your story. I always tell even my children also, like, you should fall in love. You should fall in literally love with that subject. Way you try to, you wait for your girlfriend to come in, the same way you should be waiting for the lesson to be explored. That kind of a love you should be having. The same thing is the story also. Without love, it is nonsense. Life or cinema or anything. You don't love it, quit it. Don't do it.
Yes sir, thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for answering all the questions patiently and taking them in a positive way and trying to give them a life lesson through all of these questions, truly. We really thank you for this time once again.
Very much. Thank you.
Yeah. We also have Mr. Srinivas Babu here. We would request him to address the audience. Sir, are you here?
Very good evening. Am I audible?
Yeah, audible, brother. But we want you to see on the screen also.
There is some technical problem.
No issues. No issues. You can talk. You can talk now. Yeah, now you are visible also.
And good evening to Dr. Haribabu, and especially I'm very glad to Sunil Kumar Reddy garu. Namaste, sir. So you are a wonderful human being, sir, basically, because actually acted as assistant camp officer. There was a heavy rainfall in my place, but I was unable to attend. I thought that I was unable to attend, but by God's grace, because I may not miss your speech, and you're a wonderful human being at the same time. Why don't you be a teacher to me? I feel like that. Your words are very crispy. At the same time, one thing you have mentioned that is nothing but don't hurt others. I like it very much, sir. This is a real quality of a human being. At the same time, self-contentment is very, very important. What I believe that we should not be the slaves to others' opinions. That's the weakness, human weakness. Whatever you do, we expect from others. If we like it, we do it. And just now you have mentioned we love it, otherwise we quit it. It is a very, very beautiful thing, sir. So at this particular evening, let me congratulate all the students for their wonderful interaction. So they came forward and they heartfully asked some questions. You have given wonderful clarifications and you have created some confidence in them. You have created some confidence in them. At the same time, the students of Lendi are very fortunate and others also. But you have selected a platform, Lendi, as a platform for making some pictures, sir. So it is a wonderful thing. I congratulate them. And I would like to mention, I am the one vice principal at the Department of English, Gayatri College of Science and Management, Srikakulam, sir. Our college is also a platform for making some films, sir. And some people came forward and they constructed some movies. They got interaction with the students also. And another point, what I can mention that one of the students asked one thing: cinema's impact is there on society, or society's impact is there on movies. These two are correlated. You have mentioned. I really agree with you, sir. Definitely. And another point is cinemas simply teach many things. There is a wonderful event in our college. What we have been practicing whenever the student watch a movie, simply we ask, what do you like from that movie? Simply how to narrate and simply how to mention in English. So we can find the language acquisition is also possible in terms of watching movies, sir. And another point,
to disturb you in the middle, Srinivas. Our next program is that. In fact, as part of Spices, we have a competition after Sunil's address. We have a competition, but anyway, I could not deviate from your talk. But anyway, I wanted to support you saying the next activity is competition named Watch and Review.
Oh,
watch a movie and review.
Wonderful.
Pick a book, write a review. Watch a movie, write a review. So that is what the competition that we are going to design. Shortly, the information comes to you.
Oh, thanks. Very nice, very nice. So another point, sir, you have mentioned, without hurdles, there is no question of enjoyment. We have to take everything challenging. And you see, go for any place or any department or any field, there is no question of finding, there is no competition. Where we have a competition, we are ready to take the things positively. We have to make the situation positively. So, my dear sir, I have learned, I have 24 years of experience, but I have never listened to the words of any director or producer like this, sir. You have been encouraging the students, especially younger generation, because I would like to support it, because we people always teach you how to get marks, you get something like that. We don't want to mind the skills of the people. So I really appreciate our brother, Dr. Haribabu, because he has created a real platform, because many persons are to be produced through this platform, sir. So I very much lend ensured, especially you, sir, and also the students who have been participating very actively, enthusiastically at this platform, sir. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for addressing the audience and for also being there with us in this meeting. We really hope to hear from you in the other workshops as well. We can't wait for you to give your viewpoints as well. Thank you so much, sir. Is there anyone who wants to give your feedback as to what you learned from this workshop? Anyone who wants to share your views, share your opinions? Your time is yours.
And before
Good
that,
evening, ma'am.
Jessica, yeah.
Yes.
I was experienced so much with cinema is not somebody says cinema is it can take easily. No, it was very tough, and we can gain knowledge also from this. We have learned, sir. Thank you, sir. Sunil Reddy, sir. We have beautiful words. We have learned so much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Sumant.
Before the next
Anyone else?
person, before the next
can-
person gives the feedback, in the chat box, Sunil sir, a couple of questions which were repeatedly being posted, which were away from our attention. But anyway, sorry for that. Maunika Saviti, respected sir, every movie impacts somebody's life, but in this generation, people easily attracts to the negativity of the film by leaving the content a beautiful message to the society. So what would you say to them? This is one question, sir. One more repeated question is, good evening, sir. In any movie, cameraman have main role. If we become to, what we can do for that? Please, can you give some suggestion on that? These two questions are repeatedly posted, sir. So I could take little liberty. Sorry, Jessica. And Sunil
Not
sir
at all,
will
sir. Not at all.
definitely accept.
See, to attract or getting attracted to a negative thing in the cinema, it's not just now, it's there every time. Like, what for that actually you need to have a proper upbringing, and you need to have a proper school system, like in the thought process. It is the responsibility of the parents and the society in total. You cannot just, for example, if somebody, you happen to see that murder is committed with a screwdriver, then okay, let us stop selling all the screwdrivers. This is not the way you should be approaching law. Somebody was telling that okay, if you are closing down all the acid shops, these things will not happen. No, it is the idea to throw acid at somebody has to be curbed. Not actually closing down the acid shops will not stop this problem. If somebody really wants to pour acid on somebody's face, he will somehow find something, or he will invent something. Just don't just confuse with these things. Okay. It is your personality that which should tell you the difference between the good and the bad. He'll be telling both the good and bad. After reading Ramayana, what did you learn? Means, okay, I wanted to elope with my neighbor. Then it is not the answer we expect from him. Okay, because the Ramanasara has done the same thing, sir. That's why I wanted to do. Means what you would say. What kind of a story you can tell to any generation for that matter. So don't blame the tools. Blame your mind that which is playing. And the reasons, the society is an important reason, and your parents, your teachers. This is what has to be first corrected, is what my humble submission is. Okay, just don't simply blame cinema or something it is influencing society in doing something bad. Okay, no. And becoming cinematographer, definitely it is going to be a very wonderful choice, because nowadays visual communication has become a very, very prominent thing. It's not just cinema. Any company you take, now they want to have their own visual presentation of their companies, their daily activities and all. Video making, film making has become a very, very important profession. So you better learn it professionally. Just check, like, join any college or any place where the proper education is given about that. Learn the aesthetics of cinema and contribute with your sensibilities for a better visual storytelling. Okay. So it's actually a separate evolved field. Just don't take it lightly and simply, sir, I know how to operate a camera, I know where start button is there, I can do it. The autofocus is there, so automatically focus is not done. It is not just cinematography. There is essence of cinematography, and there is actually 3 years big study happening in FTI. Don't really waste their time if it is so simple. Pressing a button and giving it to the autofocus. You got to understand color psychology and what kind of lensing you need to take, and how an frame impacts somebody's mind. All this stuff you have to learn. Then only you can be a qualified cinematographer, and then only filmmakers will be asking your support in making a better cinema. So if you are passionate, learn it from the institution, and put your real sincere efforts to be a good cinematographer. We need good cinematographers also to tell a good story, please. Sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We also have a feedback from one of the participants called Pravalika. She says, We didn't even notice the bridge of creativity and what we say, like the pain, love, and essence of work. To have a great, wonderful output on the screen, unless you made it clear, it's crystal clear for us. We just thought that cinema is just of editing, directing, and acting, but you made us it was an eye opening for us about this beautiful art. So this was the feedback from Pravalika. Thank you so much, sir. Really, everybody, I'm pretty sure every single person who has heard sir's speech, sir's talk on this topic, I'm pretty sure everybody has learned some or the other point, a new point from sir's perspective, which has changed you and me for sure. And there's one from Banu, sir. What a great evening we had with you, sir. You made our day with all your positive words. Thank you so much, sir. So there are many other comments coming up saying thank you for your kind words and your encouraging words, sir. Really, thank you so much. Is there anyone else who wants to give a vocal feedback? You can speak in your own language. That's not a problem. Doesn't have to be English.
Hello, sir. Good evening. This is Jahnavi from Lendi. And sir, firstly, I just want to thank you for your patience, sir, because I'm really excited with your answers, sir. And we are all very thankful that you are helping us out to learn something new about cinema. We just thought cinema is about acting, like as Pravalika said, acting and photography, whatever, sound systems and everything. But you just taught us something with it. And the answer you replied to someone that there is something good in every movie, sir, is really fantabulous, sir. Thank you so much for making our eyes and hearts shine, sir, with your fantabulous answers, sir. Thank you so much for this session.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Absolutely true, Jahnavi. Absolutely true. It's an eye-opening session for all of us. And everybody, we are so blessed to have sir as our guest speaker, and it's a blessing that he has agreed for this in spite of his busy schedule. So really thank you, sir. Anyone else who wants to give their feedback?
Hello, ma'am. I want to hear. Yeah, ma'am. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Here, some of them want to be a writer, a director, and you created a small path to them, inspired them, sir, with your words and the questions asked by them. You answer very politely and very enthusiastic to the who wants to write, who wants to direct, who wants to go with the film industry. Everyone out there thinks film industry makes a criminals, but you clear and stated a point that the perspective have the person, not the cinema. Thank you for that point, sir. Everyone thinking out there like crimes are increasing because of cinema, but not it is. And we are very grateful to hear words from you, and we are very inspired from words of you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Thakur. Thank you so much. And I would like to add one thing. When Hari sir asked me and some of the students to call up Mr. Sunil Kumar Reddy, we were a little hesitant, thinking how he would respond to us, because he's a famous director. So and he's pretty famous. So we didn't expect. We were expecting it to be a bit serious. The way he might talk, he might be rude because we are lower than him, and since he's famous, we were expecting that way. But the moment he picked the call and the way he spoke, I felt like, how can a director be so cool, so cool in his speech and so cool in the way he's expressing himself. So the students and I were so happy that we got the chance to speak to him personally, to invite him, and that is a really good experience for all of us. And participants, if you have any chance, if you get any chance to have this kind of these kind of works, please go ahead, please do it. You will find you will get good experiences from these. So that is what I have learned, and I am so happy that I got the chance to speak to sir. Really, thank you so much, sir. So we have Gangotri and Sanjana. Would you guys like to wrap it up?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for answering the participants' questions and queries, sir. Well, now that we have come to the end of the session, I would request the leaders of torchbearers, Varun and Pratyusha, to give us the vote of thanks.
A splendid evening to everyone who has shown their interest in this workshop and has stayed till the end. My name is Varun from from CSIT, and I'm one of the leaders of the club Torchbearers. I
Pratyusha,
deem
are
it
you here? Varun, you can go ahead, Varun.
I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. On behalf of Lendi Institute of Engineering and Technology and the entire team of ELCS Lab Lendi, along with the club Torchbearers here, I together extend a very hearty vote of thanks to our chief guest Sri Sunil Kumar Reddy for gracing this important work and sharing with us in sharing his opinions with us today. I'd like to thank our chairman sir also, our vice chairman, our principal sir, our vice principal sir, and everyone who worked for this workshop. And a special thanks to AICTE who has come up with spices to promote the students' interests, values, and ethics. And a special thanks to all the members of the club Torchbearers who have worked all day and night to host this workshop and make this event full. Last but definitely not the least, I thank the audience for their cooperation and interest in the workshop. I hope and pray all the members present here will have a peaceful night. Have a great night. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Varun. Thank you so much. Once again, thank you so much, Mr. Sunil sir. Really, your presence and the way you spoke really impressed all the students present here. And there are still more comments coming for you. But since we don't have, since the time is running out, we would like to call it a day. Sir, is it fine?
Yeah,
Shall we call it a day?
it's very fine. It's very fine. Sunil sir, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
And a hearty namaskar to you. Post this session, before winding up, I also would like to just add a couple of interesting thank notes to Dr. Lakshmi Prasanna from Hyderabad joined. Kollagatla Ratna Kumari ma'am from Little Angel School joined. We have Ampalam Srinivas Babu from Gayatri College of Education, Srikakulam. We have Dr. M. Rajan Babu, Dr. Yas Sridhar, Vice Principal Academics, Dr. Tirumala from Management Sciences. All these fellow teachers who have joined with the greatest interest to promote the interests, ethics, values, and culture among the student friends. This is quite interesting. And post to Sunil Reddy sir's talk, shortly by 10th July, we are having a new competition that is coming up. All the friends, you please get ready. Try to make your bags open or close. You have a competition named Watch a Movie, Write a Review. Read a book, write a review. Watch a movie, speak out what is that you have understood. This is what a simple competition that is coming up. On this platform, I also request Sunil sir, we may send some of the videos of these guys who really give reviews, and we also can send some scripts that they have written to your attention after we have scrutinized all the stuff. And I wanted you to announce the winners, sir, that we can talk to you personally. So this is what the announcement from my side. And if Jessica allows, the session will be ending. Thank you very much, Sunil sir.
Thank you so much, sir. We actually have Pratyusha, one of the leaders of Torchbearers. She actually wanted to give a little vote of thanks, but she missed due to some signal issue. So I would like to give a minute for her to give her vote of thanks. Pratyusha, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, sir. I'm Pratyusha, and I'm one of the leader of Torchbearers. And thank you so much, sir, for you being here. And it's really a privileged moment for everybody, sharing all your views with us and being very friendly with all the participants. And I even want to thank our beloved Vice Principal sir and head of the department, Dr. Haribabu Tamuneni sir, for gracing it up very well and supporting us really well and giving this wonderful opportunity. And yes, thank you so much. And at last, I would like to thank our audience for their cooperation interest and reflecting this learning and future reflecting in this learning of them. And at last, I hope everybody present here will have a peaceful night and have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much. And I even want to thank our mentor, Jessica ma'am, and all our club organizational leads. Thank you, Jessica ma'am. Maybe this is a great successful only because of your guidance. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pratyusha. Once again, I can't stop thanking each and every single one of you, especially Sir, Hari Sir, every higher authority present here. So since it's already 8, I think we should call it a day for now. And we hope to see you again very soon, sir. Hopefully, if you don't have a busy schedule. So thank you so much once again. Have a great night, everybody. We will be, I will be stopping the meeting. I'll be leaving the meeting. Thank you, sir, once again. Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
All.